Jai, brother, thanks for joining us today.
All right, thanks for having me.
Oh, good, brother. So let's dive in. This potty, I want it to be sort of like talking about your self-development journey and just you sharing your experiences, your insights, and all the wisdom that you've gained from your journey.
It's a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
Where would you like me to start?
Well, let's start from the start of when you started taking your self-development journey seriously. So when was that? How old were you?
The biggest probably push that I've had for it was probably 3 years ago.
Yep.
Reached out to you directly. We'd chat back and forth. I had some, not issues here and there, but things that I just needed help with that you sort of were in the field of, so I just reached out and we'd chat back and forth.
Yep.
The first major thing was a porn addiction.
Yep.
So you helped me tremendously with that.
Yeah.
And yeah, from there I've just carried it on. More so into my health at the moment, mental and physical.
Yeah.
Just on a grind to fix myself, essentially.
No, sick. I love that, man. And I feel like with self-development in general, it always starts like that, right? It starts with one specific thing we want to work on, and then it just like goes boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? And I want to specifically talk about the whole porn thing, right? So a lot of men, right? I'd almost go to say like 99.9% of men. Now, obviously, that's not a backed statistic, just off the top of my head. Yeah. But a lot of guys, most men, watch porn, right?
Definitely.
A lot of men think it's normal. Now, there's an old saying which is like, just because a lot of people do something or just because the masses do something doesn't mean it's normal. Yeah. So for you personally, what made you start to think like, hey, maybe this is detrimental in my life? Or maybe, I want to actually stop doing this?
Good question. So I started watching, let's go back even further. I started watching, I was probably year 6 or year 7 at school.
Yeah,
so
very similar to me. I think we all sort of, yeah.
Other boys at school were talking about it, and I think everyone just goes, fuck it, I'll try it. See what it's like. And then I was just hooked from there.
Yeah.
I've watched close to every day for 10 odd years, I reckon. But yeah, I think in the end, I didn't get any pleasure out of it anymore. You'd sort of finish watching and feel shit about yourself. I just got to the point where I didn't want to do it. It was just upsetting more so than it was doing anything good for me. So I needed to stop.
Yeah, and that's an interesting insight, because a lot of men think, I watch porn because it makes me feel good, or it's something that, I gain from it. When in reality, when you actually dive into the addiction of porn, and that's what it is an addiction. It's 100%. Not a habit. A lot of people like to justify and cope saying it's a habit. It's not.
Yeah.
When you actually dive into the addiction of it, it isn't something that you actually gain anything from. You are actually sacrificing everything, right?
100%.
Now, what I mean by that is like, on a surface level, it's like, porn makes me feel good. I watch this, X, Y, Z, right? You experience like an ejaculation, whatever. Surface level, it's like, I feel good. But realistically speaking, if you approach it from this angle, does someone who doesn't use porn, do they need porn to feel good? No, right? They feel good by default.
Yeah.
It's really, there's a, I don't know the actual name for it. The name I've coined towards what I'm about to talk to is called the neurochemical trap of porn addiction, right? Yeah. And basically what it is, every time you watch a porn episode, right, or engage in this addiction or use, I actually really like to talk about it like that. Yeah. Like it is a drug,
it's
right?
An addiction.
Yeah. So like every time you use the drug of pornography, what happens is you create a void within you. Okay, so basically what it means is, okay, you're here, you feel, let's say it's a first time user. Let's go all the way back to like year 6. First time user, year 6, I don't know how old a year 6 is, probably like 10 years old, is that right?
10 or 12 or something,
yeah. That version of you, that young boy, he didn't feel like he was missing something. He was just curious, right?
Yeah.
He was like, all right, boom. But as soon as you watch it, now what happens is, especially because there's so much shame and so much like taboo and like secrecy around sexuality.
100%.
So as soon as you watch it, you're like, okay, this feels good in the moment, but then it's like, boom, straight after, you're filled with shame, regret, I'm a bad person. It's this dark shadow.
What the fuck am I doing?
That's right, yeah. And then you have that dark shadow, and I refer to it as the void or a negative internal experience. And then from that, it comes up every now and then like, oh, you did that. And it feels negative and you want to get away from it. And so what do we resort to? We watch porn again.
Yeah.
And that's the cycle. It's like, first time consumer or watcher, and then boom, they create a void, and then that they have they have pangs, like internal pangs, to get away from that void. Watch porn again, and the cycle deepens.
Yeah, 100%. And then you're in a routine of doing it every day or every second day, or
that's right.
Fuck, people even get worse than that multiple times a day.
Yeah.
I've never been that guy, but multiple times a day is crazy. I can imagine how detrimental to your mental health that would be.
Oh, bro. And like on the I guess like from a perspective of dopamine, right? It is absolute like spiritual suicide.
Yeah, 100%.
Mental absolute anguish, because you are exposing yourself to hyper stimulus, right? Like if we get all Huberman here, right? Yeah, Andrew Huberman, shout out. I hope he's watching this. So you know, a normal interaction. Let's say like a puppy or a dog walking up to you, right? And you're patting the dog. You get dopamine from that.
Yeah.
Now that spike, let's say just for the viewers' sake, so they can understand this, that spike, let's say it's at level 5, right? Little spike. Yeah. But enough for spike to make a normal person who doesn't use porn feel happy and joyful. Now, that's a 5, and let's say you hug your partner, that's also like a 7. And then let's say you go to the gym and you listen to your favorite music, that might be like a 6 or whatever, right? So all these things, they're all relatively the same spike-wise, dopamine spike-wise. Yeah. And then what happens when we expose ourselves to porn? That spike is insane. It's like through the fucking roof. For example's sake, let's say it's like 100.
Yeah.
Boom, through the thing. So now, in comparison to the other things, you know, nothing feels as joyful and as enlivening as it did before, because our minds work in like a comparative sense. Okay, we always compare our experiences to the last experience.
Yeah, definitely.
And the like, to get more in depth with the dopamine baseline adapts.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, you're going to expose yourself to this 100 spike or the 100 dopamine spike. Now you need at least a 70 spike to feel good.
Yeah.
So
I think don't know how you started, but you start with watching some fairly soft porn, and for a while
it's progressive.
It progresses up and up and up, and by the time you decide to give up, you're watching some crazy shit.
Exactly right. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like other drug addictions, it is progressive.
Yeah, you start light.
Literally. And yeah, like as I was saying with the dopamine baseline, you get to a point where the things that used to satisfy you and bring you joy in life, they're nothing anymore.
Yeah, 100%.
Andrew Huberman has a really good quote around addiction, and it encompasses it perfectly. He says, "Addiction is a narrowing of everything that brings you pleasure." I think that's the quote. I'm probably going to butcher it, but it's along the lines of like, addiction is a narrowing of everything in life that brings you pleasure. Okay, so at the start, before there's any form of addiction or compulsion, we find joy in everything. You know, I like going to the gym, I like gardening, I like, you know, playing chess. All these things bring a lot of joy. And then it's like, okay, none of these things feel fun to me anymore in comparison to that one thing. And everything becomes about that one. The world closes in on it.
100%. Everything else is a task after that.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So it is a massive topic. It's something that a lot of men need to fucking wake up about.
100%.
Like, I wholeheartedly believe like porn is a weapon to keep men weak, docile, numb and distracted.
Definitely. And because it's such a taboo topic that no one talks about, it isn't going to get fixed.
Yeah.
So I think this industry now especially, more people are open to talking about it.
100%.
A couple of people, good friends that I know now, will mention it within our sort of friend group, but even that's still slightly weird, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's not something that anyone ever talks about. So now, especially in my friend group, I'll happily talk about it and tell them I haven't watched in months. Yeah. I don't do that shit.
Yeah, sick.
Like, why would I?
And that's the best too. Like that whole stigma and shame and secrecy and shit around it, that's one of the reasons porn has such a grip on men. 100%. Right? It's like, because we can't talk about it, we can't fight it. Yeah. It's the whole thing of self-sabotage thrives in self-isolation. Yeah. If you are, you know, surrounding yourself with brothers and, you know, you've got good men around you and women as well, but for this case, like good men who are, you know, all talking about the same things they're sort of working on or trying to stay away from. If it's being brought up like, oh, you know, I used to struggle with this, I used to struggle with that. It's like, fuck man, I still struggle with that. How do you overcome it? Yeah, it's normal.
It opens conversation.
Yeah. But if you have like the whole secrecy, no one talks about it, so everyone struggles.
100%. Yeah.
Bro, I would honestly, I would almost go to say that nearly every guy has a porn addiction, but so many men don't think it's an addiction because they've never actually tried to quit.
Yeah.
Right?
Definitely.
And I say to people, like, because you know how much I speak about this. I'm a very big advocate for like speaking up against porn, and you know mostly I get positive responses from people. A lot of women are on my side with this, like you know they're sort of like, yo, you know, oh, I wish my husband would stop this, X, Y, Z. I've heard of stories, bro, of literally families getting torn apart, divorces because of porn, right? And this is what, bro, like young men need to drill this into their fucking head. Right now they might think it's just some innocent habit, a pastime that doesn't do anything or mean anything.
Everyone does it, it must be normal.
That's right, yeah. But it's like, it's going to progress. And a lot of men are under this misconception that, oh, once I get a girlfriend or once I get married, porn won't be in my life anymore. That's not true. It's not just because you're going to be getting intimacy from your woman. It doesn't mean that addiction is going to go anywhere.
Yeah. You're already stuck in that addiction loop. So you've created those habits where you watch every day or every second day or on a Wednesday, whatever it is. So you find a partner and that doesn't stop. You just have extra on top of that. 100%.
And like, yeah, man, there's a great quote which goes like, a man doesn't create his destiny, he creates his habits and they create his destiny. And like the habits a man or a boy forms in his younger years define the man that he becomes and the life he builds in the later years.
100%.
Right? Like it's like, you know, in your 20s, right? Like teens to 20s, this is the stuff that's going to form the man you become.
Definitely.
Are you going to be a 30, 40, 50, 60-year-old man who's, you know, going to the bathroom with this secret and, you know, and then, you know, you're affecting the intimacy with your woman and you feel you got this shadow that's been over your shoulder for 40 years.
And who wants to be that guy?
No one, that's right. If you actually ask like, you know, a porn user, say like, do you genuinely wish you started, right? And you know what, some might say, so like most of them say, oh no, not really, but some of them say, yeah, I do, you know, porn's not bad. And I say, okay, if you had a son, would you say to your son, hey, here's porn, would you expose your kid to it? No. And they say, fuck no. And I say, why not? And they say, because I know what comes with it. And then they start to link it, right?
That just goes back to the awareness thing, but I guess if people don't know that it's so detrimental for you, that's just not going to stop. People
100%.
Just keep doing it.
Yeah.
It's all about awareness.
That's right.
Talk to your mates about it.
100%, yeah. And that's like just, you know, not just the porn element, but anything. Mental health, like, big thing, man. Massive thing that I'm an advocate for is like men actually like doing the work, speaking about things, healing, communication, all for that, right?
Yeah.
Like, this is the thing that it sort of actually pisses me off a little bit. One, there are very few things in life piss me off, but this whole thing kind of does, which is like so many people are all about men's mental health, you know, are you okay day, all this, right? Cool. Those things, they have positive intent, all for it.
Yeah.
But it's like, you can't be an advocate for that stuff and be so strong on these things online and whatever to sort of virtue signal. And then when a mate actually tries to speak up to you, or a mate says, hey man, you know, I'm actually not doing that good. And then you just say, oh, you'll be right, man, have a cup of concrete. You can't be both.
Yeah.
Like you want to fucking flaunt a philosophy, embody it. You know?
Back to the awareness thing, but too, if you don't know that much about mental health or anything like that, you don't know how to help your mates.
That's very true.
Reach out and tell you that they're struggling and you go, cool man, like, what do I do for you? So I think I've had a long history of mental health, not issues, but you know, I've dealt with anxiety and depression and stuff like that. So I'm quite good at helping people with it. So I can help mates when they reach out, but not everyone's so lucky, I guess.
Yeah, that's very true. I actually had a conversation with a guy today after I got, I just went to the shops and I bumped into this guy. I haven't seen him in ages. And I was like, bro, where you been? Like, what have you been up to? And he's like, oh man, I've been down the worst path. And obviously I won't mention his name because it's a very sensitive topic, but he was with a partner and unfortunately she committed suicide. And he's like, since that happened, he's like, I've been off the rails, I've been drinking, drugs, like he literally listed to me like majority of the self-sabotaging patterns and like, you know, vices. And I said to him, well, have you processed what happened? And he's like, he literally tried to brush it off. He's like, oh man, it's fucked up. He's like, what can I do about it? And I just knew, I was like, I said, have you felt the grief and the maybe even a sense of like guilt? You might, maybe you think in your mind you might be associated. And he's like, I don't really know how to do that sort of stuff, bro. And I was like, well, there's a reason you're continuously needing drugs and drinking and porn. And he's like, what do you mean? I said, well, if you have this energy, this emotion, like emotion is energy in motion, if you have this these emotions within you and these thoughts that are constantly coming up, of course you're going to continuously revert to these habits and these vices because you don't know how to process it. And so you're using these things as like your medicine for the thing you're running away from.
Alcohol's really good at that.
Yeah.
Really, really good at that.
And the thing is, like, the culture around alcohol is, it's normal. Have a beer, mate, you'll be right.
Yeah.
It's actually stupid as fuck. Like, you know, I'm not going to sit here and say people need to be monks, right?
Yeah,
like,
of course.
I choose not to drink, but that's just my personal choice. But what I am against heavily is, like, you've got emotion, like, if you've got something you're working, you have going on internally, do not go to the pub. That is not the temple of healing, right?
Quite the opposite.
Yeah, like, don't go there. Don't try and fucking drown your sorrows. Something's happened. It's actually a traumatic experience, right? The body's taken on that trauma. You need to address these emotions head on. You need to allow yourself to process them, and you need to work out what's going on internally.
Yeah, I think the problem is that modern man has created the alcoholism for itself, really. You go through a breakup or a family member pass or something, the first thing you go and do is drink. But, you know, catching up with your mates at the pub on a Friday arvo is normal. And I've been there. I've done that for, there was 2 or 3 years. I hit the drink heavy every weekend.
Yeah.
Sometimes 5 days a week.
Yeah.
It wasn't good. I haven't touched a drink in months.
Oh, really? Good stuff.
I don't want it anymore.
Yeah.
I don't need it anymore. I don't talk to a lot of those people that I used to see frequently.
Yeah.
So you sort of, it's bittersweet. You sort of lose some friends that you've made, and they're all good people. I don't hold anything against them at all, but
Just a
I
lifestyle.
don't drink anymore, so I'm not around. I don't see them anymore.
Yeah.
Which is, it's bittersweet, but it's that environment that you don't want to be in when you're trying to get yourself out of a rut, you know?
Oh, bro, the power of osmosis, who you spend the most time with, extremely real. Like,
Definitely.
you got to be relentless in that. Like, bro, if there's, like, my personal standards in terms of, like, who I hang out with, bro, if they're you know, drinking, if they're doing drugs, if they're fucking, even like lust, right? Lust is a massive, I know we talked about porn, but lust goes beyond porn. Lust is, like, you know, not just porn, but also like being extremely promiscuous and XYZ.
Yeah.
If they're dudes like that and they're always sending me pictures of fucking chicks and, oh, I'm gonna sleep with this chick, bro, like, look at this chick's XY. Get the fuck away from me, bro. Like, honestly, like, because it's not even.
What are you doing?
Yeah, like, obviously, right, I'm a fucking heterosexual guy. Like, women are fucking beautiful. I love women. But it's like, if I'm constantly exposed to these fucking guys who are just always talking about sex and this and this and this, I honestly feel like grabbing these guys and fucking shaking them and saying, like, there's more to life.
Wake up.
That's right. There's more to life than pussy, bro.
Which leads me on to something else, but so porn, alcohol, social media. Bro, that's the next big one. And for lust specifically, you scroll Instagram for 5 minutes and you've seen 50 different models.
Crazy.
Models.
Yeah.
So, like, that's crazy. Like, lock all your apps out for timers, which I'm sure you do anyway. I've set timers for 5 minutes of Instagram a day.
Yeah.
Because
really?
I'll waste forever on that.
Yeah.
Scroll, fucking watch reels. There's monkeys and dogs and shit, whatever. Do you know how many reels you can watch in 5 minutes?
Oh,
Bro, it's fucking insane.
But yeah,
insane.
Bro, you know what? There's I watched a good video. I never will forget this video. It said, like, this is why short form content is so detrimental, right? Short form content. Think about this. When you are going throughout your day-to-day thing, let's say you don't touch Instagram the whole day, you might cycle between, I don't know, let's say let's say a 5-minute period, right? Just because we're going to base it off your example there. 5-minute period, how many emotions do you go through in that 5 minutes, usually? It's probably like pretty baseline, like one. You're probably staying in one, right? Or a neutral state where there's like not apathy, but like there's not emotions, you're just present, right? On TikTok or Instagram or whatever, every fucking platform has short form now. Yeah. But when you're on this, it's like, okay, first video, oh, it's a puppy. Oh my God, so cute. You have like feelings of whatever, like affection and stuff.
Yeah. Then there's a family getting run over by a
That's
car.
right. And then it's like, oh my God, sorrow, death, and despair. Next one, it's like a chick shaking her ass. Now it's desire. And the next one, it's your favorite football team fucking losing. And then it's like sadness again. And then, oh my God, happiness, another puppy. Can you see how fucked this is for your internal state?
The dopamine spikes.
Bro.
Spikes and crashes. Though.
Oh my God, we are like, you don't take it back to primal times. Someone's walking through a forest hunting down a deer. It's the whole day is like the emotion of desire to get the deer. Yeah. We are not meant to go through 5,000 emotions in 1 hour.
No.
Right? And people,
Bro, 5 minutes is bad enough.
yeah,
That's
and people wonder why they have so much like volatility in their emotional states, and they don't feel like they can't focus, and they say, oh, my internal world's, all jumbled up. It's like, yeah, you're continuously training yourself to be scattered.
Yeah, which is an interesting thing. I think you have to be somewhat self-aware to know that, though. Can you talk to the average person that's not into self-improvement or anything like that? They don't know that.
Yeah.
They jump up, wake up in the morning, they scroll, they, whatever. They spend their whole day on socials. It's crazy.
And I think people sort of need to experience their life without, like, I'm gonna encapsulate it in vice, but people need to experience what I refer to as the good life to know how shit the other side is.
Yeah.
Like, I'll use myself as an example, right? I eat super clean, gym every day, stay away from all like vice and bullshit and anything like that. I do all this not because, of any other reason, simply then because I think it's the right way to live, like a good way to live.
And you feel good.
That's right, yeah. If I woke up, and let's say I went the opposite side of the spectrum, right? And I was like, all right, wake up, watch porn, eat Maccas, social media, like dopamine maxing, like
set yourself up to fail.
Degeneracy maxing, yeah. Bro, I would feel fucked. Like, even bro, one day I was
jump on sports betting.
Yeah.
Money, like.
Oh my god, yeah. Like, how long ago was it now? Probably like 2 months ago. I was sick as. So sick, I could barely even usually when I'm sick, I'm like, oh cool, I can just do some work and I'll just stay in one spot and I'll be sweet. But I was so sick, bro, I couldn't even do work on the laptop. I was like, bro, on death's door. Anyway, I'm like, all right, whatever, I'll just I don't really watch Netflix much because I like reading instead, but I was like, all right, I'll just suss out some Netflix. But I watched Netflix, honestly, for like 3 hours straight. Like, I was just, I was watching some TV show, Netflix. After it, bro, I was lying and I was like, fuck. I was like, I need to eat, but I was like, I don't even have enough motivation to get up and eat because my dopamine storages have just been like drained.
Oh, no.
Oh my god. And like, it actually blows my mind to think people live like that day in, day out.
All the time.
And bro, sometimes, I'm not gonna say it happens fucking every day, but like every now and then I'll get a message from someone like, bro, you're so motivated. How are you going to the gym every morning and running these businesses and boom, boom, boom? I'm just like, because it's fun to me.
Yeah.
It's like a form of stimulation.
100%.
But if I was watching Netflix and gaming and betting and watching porn and drinking and none of the stuff I'm doing now would feel fun at all. I'd be like, that's gay. Well,
Yeah, 100%. And like, you're in the gym chasing numbers anyway. It's a game of sorts.
Literally, gamify your life.
You go in there and you do more reps than last week or more weight than last week and you feel fucking incredible for it because you've actually achieved something that does something for you later down the track.
100%.
Like, you're not going to get fit today and then have 2 days off and be fucked.
Yeah, definitely.
You're working towards a healthier a future for yourself once you get older,
100%. But yeah, so going back to your personal journey with it, so entry level you did mention we worked together, right? So we did a program which at the time was called Internal Mastery.
Yep.
It was a 6-week program specifically focused on the internal world.
Yep.
What was your experience like with that? Like, just working with me and actually taking that self-development to the next level?
Eye-opening.
Yeah.
To sum it up. It was really heavy. That's a lot of work, but that's what it is. That's what I paid for. That's what I signed up for.
Yeah.
Within the first week after the first session, obviously I took a fair bit of time to reflect after every session and actually put into practice what we were learning. The first week I saw massive improvements in who I was, which was crazy. So by the time that 6 weeks was over, I was basically a different person.
100%.
Got rid of all those vices, which obviously there was times where I maybe watched porn again, had a drink again or whatever, but nowhere near what I used to be.
Yeah, and with that last comment of watch porn every now and then, it's this is how I say it. Progress isn't progress is it's a journey, right?
Yeah.
And it's not a straight upward thing. It's like up and then low and then up and then low. But what you sort of got to recognize and give yourself a pat on the back for is, you know what? If after the program, let's say before the program, you used to watch porn every day, and then after the program, it's like, I haven't watched in 2 weeks, and then I watched once. Okay, and then I haven't watched in 3 weeks, then I watch once.
That's still improvement.
You progressively get better, right?
Yeah, 100%.
And eventually, you just I don't want it anymore.
Yeah.
One thing you mentioned before, you mentioned it about porn, and you also mentioned about drinking, which I really want to bring up because I love it.
Sure.
It's not like this is such a big point, but you said like you don't want those things anymore.
Yeah.
Right? It's not whereas a lot of people when they talk about addictions and vices and self-destructive things, it's like it's a temptation. I'm fighting urges, bro. I think, at the start, it might be like a thing of, I actually want to do that because it's habitualized in me.
Sure.
But eventually you're just like, no, I'm not fighting urges. I actually don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Like I know, we can use the example of porn and drinking. It's very similar things, but porn and drinking, it's poison. It's literally poison for the body and mind.
Yeah, it's interesting because drinking, definitely initially, I was a heavy drinker. I could go through 15 or 20 beers a night and pull up completely fine the next day.
Really?
Go to work on a Monday morning, fine. I've never been hungover in my life. I'm good at it, is what I used to tell myself. But I wanted to do that at that point. So Friday night, I'd drive to the pub from work and not drive home.
No, really?
No.
Yeah.
So I'd had Ubers home or friends drove me home or whatever. But it was pretty rare. Like there was a fair few occasions where I couldn't drive home.
Oh, really?
A fair few I shouldn't have.
Yeah.
But I wanted it at that point. And same thing. You'd wake up on Saturday and the boys were keen to go out for lunch.
Yeah.
You go to the pub.
True. It's the whole culture, hey?
Yeah.
So it's like the home base.
By the time the weekend was over, like I'd had 50 drinks or something.
Yeah, well.
$1,000. Like.
Yeah, really? $1,000.
Well, fuck. By the time you buy yourself X amount of drinks, you go buy a round for the table as well. You bought 6 drinks is $100.
Yeah, that's true.
Adds up quick.
Yeah, well. Yeah, I think like with that whole thing of just like the whole addiction thing, right? It's like, I know this isn't good for me. So on a logical, rational level, why would I want to put it in my body? Right? Someone actually had a convo with me the other day. This girl, and she messaged me, she's like, oh, I bet you you're so upset or some shit that you can't eat Maccas. And I said, who said I can't eat Maccas? She's like, well, you don't eat it. I said, yeah, not because I can't.
I don't want to.
I said, I can go drive down. It's fucking at the end of my road. I said, I can drive down the road and buy a fucking big juicy Big Mac anytime I want. Yeah. She's like, but you're not allowed. I said, said who? She's like, well, you set these like your diet. I said, no. I said, I'd never said that. I said, I just don't want to put poison in my body. 100%. It's very rational. There's no temptation. Just like for me with porn and drinking and gambling and all this other bullshit.
Just not interested.
It's not a temptation because I'm like, that's going to fuck me up multidimensionally.
100%.
And that's the biggest realization. One of my biggest like philosophies, worldviews, or just sort of like, I guess like mode of being is personal power, and I don't know if this is an actual definition, it's just my own personal sort of thing, but I define personal power as like when you feel like you're in your power, and the way I sort of like know I'm in my power is like when I'm very charismatic, when I'm confident, when I can speak with conviction, but when I do shit that's misaligned my values, I lose all of this. Like I really do.
You feel like shit.
I feel like
your confidence is shot.
I'm ashamed. Yeah. I can't, especially because I'm very outspoken with all my values and stuff like this. Yeah. There's been times in the past where I've fucked up before, and I've done shit that's not aligned with my values, and I'm like, especially like I think everyone feels this, but especially if you're so outspoken, straight away you get shit like imposter syndrome. Am I a fraud? I'm talking about these things, and am I, you just feel ashamed. You feel so shit. And that's one of the biggest driving factors, like why I don't do this stuff, because it's like, I know what it disconnects me from. Yeah. And I know what happens if I just stay away from it. And it's like life for me is so much better, like 1,000 times better. Yeah. So that little instant gratification hit of dopamine or pleasure, drinking drugs, porn, whatever, nowhere near worth it for me.
No, it's why would you if you feel good without it?
That's right.
Incredible. Go for a walk in the sun, like happy
literally,
days.
Yeah.
Eat good food, get sunlight, touch grass.
Bro, I just think life's very simple in terms of like what we actually need to be content and happy. We don't I'm not against making money. I love making money, right? I'm all about money. I'm all about money. But I just think we have these ideals in our mind, and the whole destination happiness thing, like, oh, I'll be happy once I have the house, the woman, the car, this. No, you won't, because you'll set a new goal. Because that's what we do. We're humans.
100%.
Right?
Yeah, you'll be happy when you get your first million.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, it's only $1 million. I can get 5.
Yeah, and like, what am I going to do? On the build up of these goals, right? Am I going to be miserable until I get it. And then I'm like, yes, I got it. And then what do I think is going to happen? It's like, oh, am I going to be content? No, because I'm going to straight away reset the new one.
This always reminds me of a quote. You've already achieved goals you said would make you happy.
Oh, very true.
Every single time. I think like my personal life, financial, gym even, like heaps of stuff like that. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll be happy when I can squat X number or whatever. And then I look back and I'm like, fuck, I did that 3 months ago.
Crazy, yeah.
Crazy.
I think we, like it's such a popular quote, but it's so true. Like, fall in love with the process. Like I actually, like especially with the gym, especially with like even business, to be honest, like obviously I have KPIs in business and targets I want to hit and shit, but let's talk on gym and business. I actually don't really care that much about the targets, like especially the gym. You know, people say like, well, what are you trying to achieve by summer, bro? And it's like, I don't know, man. Like I'm not thinking like in 6 months. I'm thinking like 70 years. Yeah. So like my thing is just like, I just train nearly every day. I walk every day. I eat clean. Yeah. I don't really care. Like I'm like
just looking after myself.
That's right. It's just a part of me now. It's not. I actually don't like. I do have a goal with the gym and stuff, but it's not. I'm not so attached to it. I'm just like, this is what I do, and
you're not going to die if you don't hit that goal.
That's right. Yeah. A natural byproduct of just falling in love with the process is you experience the attainment of your goals naturally.
100%.
It's like, oh shit, I hit my weight. Oh, I didn't even realize.
Yeah.
Oh, or I hit some business KPIs. Fuck.
Yeah. Not so. It's that's always interesting, but too like having goals in general is rare now for a lot of people. And you don't have to have unattainable goals, because in a lot of situations that sort of stops you from trying for them, because you're like, why bother?
They feel unrealistic.
Set small ones instead, something that you can
incrementally
achieve. Set a monthly goal, something that you can work towards.
And I feel like too, you know, just talking back on the personal power thing, momentum is a massive thing. Once you build momentum, like bro, once you start going to the gym, you start seeing results, and you know, you look at yourself in the mirror, you're like, what the fuck? That's sick. And you know, maybe you might get a compliment from someone else, and you start to feel the momentum, like the positive momentum of choosing these better choices. Try and go back. You honestly, you could hold me at gunpoint and I wouldn't give up my lifestyle. Like, I'm like, kill me, bro. Because I'm not going to live like the opposite of what I'm living, like vice, self-destructive habits. I'm not going to do that. Because I know what comes from that. And I have to give up everything that I get from my lifestyle now.
It's just not worth it.
Yeah.
Simply not worth it. Right on compliments too. Like, I've recently have had a couple of compliments from people that I've been seeing, like I've seen around for a long time. They're like, oh, you're looking good, bro. And I'm like, do I?
Yeah.
I don't see that. I still see myself as the little fat kid from 2 or 3 years ago.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah. I've lost a lot of weight and shit. Like, I'm doing okay, but I never see the progress that other people see.
Yeah, well, they say like other people see it first than you do.
Yeah.
Because we sort of have these self-perceptions based off past identity.
Yeah.
But even like today, like 40 minutes ago, I got in the car with you. I was like, fuck, you've lost weight. You know?
Yeah. And I don't see it.
You know why you don't see it? You don't see it because you see yourself every day. Other people see you on a bigger time span.
Yeah, 100%. It's been a couple of months since we've hung out. So.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, nuts.
It's really cool. What you mentioned before, you know, when we worked together and you did internal mastery, you mentioned like it wasn't easy, right? Like it was hard. Yeah. And that's something that I really want to hone in on. I've worked with, well, actually in the vetting process of seeing if I actually want to work with them, but I've been on like initial calls and they say, is it easy? And I say, no, it's not. I'm not gonna lie to you here. Like I know I'm sort of like telling them about the program and it's almost like a sales thing, whatever. But I'm just like, I'm not gonna lie to you. It's not easy. It's very fucking hard. Yeah. But through that discomfort, you're gonna grow so much. Like you're literally facing shit you've been running away from for like 25 years. It's like,
and you get out of the program what you put into it.
That's right. Yeah.
Which my specific program with you probably run way longer than it had to.
Yeah, 100%.
But I put a lot of work in after every single session for a week to 3 weeks.
100%. And there was a lot of like outside of program like work being done as well.
Yeah,
like
100%.
You know, supplementary books and video and all sorts of
heaps of reading, heaps of research, heaps of just working out where I was at. But
and that's the
hard
thing.
Work paid off. 100%.
Yeah, exactly right. You need to, like, I'm a big believer, you need to expose yourself to ideas for a long time. Yeah. A lot of people have like ego or like vanity metrics when it comes to learning. I've read 5 books this week. It's like, cool. What do you remember? What have you applied, right? And I say that not from a place of fucking judgment, but like experience. I used to be the guy, bro. How many books I used to read? I used to try and read like 2 to 3 books a week. Yeah. Like I'm talking like smashing through them. And yeah, cool, my book number was high, but in terms of what I retained, it wasn't much.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, when I read a book, bro, I spend at least 2 weeks on one book.
Yeah.
And like, I'm annotating, like, wish I had a book. These don't have any annotation in them. I wish I had a book here which had the sides, but when I'm reading a book, I like annotate on the sides, and it looks like you're having a conversation with the book.
Yeah.
It's like, what does this mean? Is this linked to this? Highlight, scribble.
Yeah.
The book's like an art piece. Don't worry about me reselling my books. They're fucked. But I remember, and then when I have insights, I share them with people. Bro, if I have an insight, I'm calling people. Bro, what do you think on this? Boom, boom. I'm listening to podcasts, bro. It's like it's an interactive experience,
Yeah,
and I probably spend like 200 times more with the book than I could if I just read it. But it's not about time for me. So it's not about like, book metrics, how many you've read. It's about, do I actually know what the book is trying to teach me?
Yeah, because it's so easy to read a complete book start to finish and go, I don't know what the fuck that was about.
Oh, legend, bro.
I have read book, like I've got a few. I've got a collection, small collection. There's books in there that I've read probably half a dozen times because I read it the first time and got nothing from it at all. So I read it again and I pick up small bits. And you read it a third time and you pick up shit that you didn't get the second time.
Yeah.
It continues. You can read shit forever.
100%.
But yeah, the number doesn't really matter. Just
That's right.
if you get something out of it.
It's who you become from the book. Like I really see books as like a very, like I don't know, I have a very special place for books in my heart, but I don't see books as just like, it's not just a bundle of paper for me. It's literally like, this book here, right? The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. Massive book for me. I love that book. Have you read that book?
Not yet.
No, yes. When I read a book, I don't just see it as like I'm reading a book. I see it, I'm spending time with the author. I'm getting access to these people that I would have never otherwise had access to. And I'm learning about them, and I'm learning about their habits and mannerisms and even the way they speak. I'm like, honestly, every book I've read has become a part of who I am. Like sometimes I'll say things I'll just be aware of my perception of something, and I'll be like, where did that... And I'm like, that was from that book.
Yeah.
I've read that book, and they're powerful.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
One of my favorites at the moment is Don't Believe Everything You Think by Joseph Nugent.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've read that. It's only a really, really short read.
That's when I betrayed spend time with the book. I read that on a train trip home from the city. Awesome book.
Short read. For someone that reads as much as you do, I'm sure that's light work. But I've probably read that 4 times.
Oh, really?
The first time was incredible, and it was probably the first time I actually clicked with anything because it was sort of related to what I'd been working on. So everything clicked. It all made sense. It's
a good book. I like it sort of it approaches it from like a mindfulness perspective, and it really makes you question internal narratives.
Yeah.
Because, especially Western society, we're grown up to believe that we are our thoughts, right? It's the whole thing of like, our thoughts and emotions. So like a little kid is experiencing, something happens, and then the mum or dad says, oh, how are you? Are you sad? Are you angry? And this language, while it seems innocent, the kid goes, yes, I am sad, right? So they're identifying with that emotion.
Yeah.
When in reality, and I know a fucking 6-year-old's probably not going to have this level of emotional intellect, but like when we grow up, when we get adults, we need to, rewrite the narratives and operate in ways that serve us better.
100%.
But like we can start using different language and giving ourselves a bit more space in terms of awareness and mindfulness. Instead of saying, oh, I'm so angry right now, you can say, you know what? I'm experiencing anger within the body right now. That automatically, there's some space there. You can observe it. You don't
shifts that emotion straight away.
You don't become it. Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy.
And bro, just linking emotional intelligence to like addictions. Bro, it is insane. I've worked with so many people now. Like since working with you, I've sort of like niched even further in what I do. I specifically now work with like men, mainly men. If a woman reaches out, I'll work with her too, but I'm sort of marketing with men.
Yeah.
But men to overcome like self-destructive habits, self-sabotage patterns, and vice.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of this stuff is, based around addiction. And one of the biggest things I've realized is a lot of addictions, the addiction isn't the problem, it's the solution to the real problem, which blew my mind. And, I don't actually, I was about to reveal something, but I don't want to reveal it yet because I'm still in the works. It's early, but it'll be big and I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like for example, let's say someone thinks they are addicted to smoking, right? They're not addicted to smoking, right? Like, yeah, eventually there might be addictive elements that arise where you actually are addicted to that.
Head to a substance.
Yeah, that's right. But initially, you're addicted to escaping something. And in most cases, you're escaping an internal experience,
100%.
right? Like I spoke to a woman who's pretty close to me in my life and she smokes. And I said, why do you smoke? And she's like, I don't know. She's like, I've just been smoking for as long as I can remember. I said, let's break it down. I said, from a habit loop perspective, we can go cue, action, reward. I said, well, what's the cue that makes you smoke? She's like, well, I see the smoke. So I said, well, that's an external cue. What's an internal cue? Right? Because if we take the smokes out of the picture, you still smoke. Why? And she says, I don't know. I said, well, think about it. I said, get back to me. I said, I'll give you like a day. And I said, and tell me why you pick up that smoke. And she comes back to me in the day and she says, because I'm stressed. Yeah. And I said, that's interesting. I said, so you're using smokes as a way to deal with stress? And she said, yeah, I guess I am. I said, what would happen if you had a different way to deal with stress? Do you think the smoking addiction would weaken? She's like, I've never thought about it. I said, well, have a day.
Have a think.
And I said, and use this instead. I recommended meditation to deal with stress instead, because it is also a breathing movement.
Definitely.
And she went away for the day and she said, I literally didn't need a smoke for the whole day. I said, that's crazy. You've been smoking for 30 years, right? Yeah. So like little things like this, just understanding the core principle of like, the addiction isn't the actual addiction. It's the solution to the deeper problem. Find the deeper problem and work on that. Fuck the surface thing. Like, I'm not in the game of saying to someone, oh, you're addicted to smoking, just stop, bro. It's like, cool. Yeah. Cool. You like that whole willpower, white knuckling it type thing of like,
drop it cold turkey.
Yeah, just resist. It's like, firstly, you're wasting so much willpower. Yeah. Secondly, you can resist smokes all you want in this situation. Another addiction is going to take its place. 100%. If you've got stress and you don't know how to deal with it, you're going to now go to fucking porn maybe, right?
Yeah. Or gambling. Or
that's right. It's
something.
Just going to bounce.
Yeah.
So it's like, you got to deal with that root and don't, obviously like, I'm very passionate about this topic because there are so many people who are blindsided to this shit.
Yeah.
I've got a drinking addiction. No, you don't. No, you don't. You have.
What are you running from?
That's right. You have an internal experience you're trying to get away from, or something, maybe even something external.
Hence the term, you're drinking your feelings.
That's right.
That's always what it is. Someone's gone through a breakup. That's what I did.
Oh my
Had
God.
a bit of a rough one. And spent 2 or 3 years just fucking drinking my feelings away.
Yeah.
Until one night, I'm like, this is fucked. Like, why am I doing this?
But you literally like you perpetuate an experience which could have taken 3 months, right? Because this is, there are a few quotes which I'm heavily against. One of the quotes is like, time heals all wounds. I'm like, no, it doesn't, because I've met 70-year-olds who were angry as fuck about something that happened 50 years ago. And did time heal them? No. Time doesn't heal wounds, facing it does. Yeah. Right? And when we drink and do drugs and all this other bullshit, we're running from it and we'll run our entire life and it'll still be there. Yeah. It's the old saying of like, you want to kill the dragon? You can't outrun it, you got to turn around and put a fucking sword through its neck. Yeah. 100%. Like, face that shit.
Face it, yeah.
That's right.
Talk to your mates about it.
Yeah.
It's literally that simple.
Yeah.
Literally that simple.
Like once you start talking, that's a big thing too. All of this stuff, it's very much so rooted in shame. Yeah. And shame can't exist in secrecy. No. Right? Like, if I have a problem and I'm going through this stuff and I think people are going to judge me, and if I can't talk to anyone about it, I feel isolated and hopeless. Yeah. Like literally, like I feel like I have no power to change anything. Yeah. But then I say, hey, you know what? Jai's never judged me for anything. Jai, man, can we catch up, man? I'm going through something. Yeah. We come, go on a bit of a walk, say, bro, can I share something with you? You're like, yeah, sweet. Hit me. Share it. And then it's like, oh, what? You say, oh, bro, like, thank you for sharing. It's like the whole thing of when you share a problem in halves. Now you have an outside perspective and someone says to you like, oh, bro, that's normal. And you're like, oh, you're not going to think I'm a fucking loser because of this? No, bro. Like,
just someone else's opinion often is plenty. That's enough. That gets you through whatever it is that you go through.
But you know what? I will include like a bit of a detail in this. Be mindful of who you go to for support. Because there are a lot of men particularly who are still rooted in this paradigm of don't be a bitch, harden up, boom, boom, boom. Yeah. Bro, you want your mate to kill himself? Say that to him. Like, because it takes so much courage and balls to fucking muster up that, initial action of reaching out to someone. Yeah. And then they treat you like that. Firstly, you're never going to reach out to anyone again. That negative experience is dictating everything.
Yeah, and you'll sit there with your feelings forever. Yeah,
100%.
You're right. You got to pick the small circle of people you can talk to.
You need to know the culture of the person and be like, hey, is this person going to shame me or going to help me?
Which can be difficult too, because you sometimes open up to someone that maybe you didn't expect that you were going to or whatever. And you can either have a really, really good experience and they took it really well, they're really helpful, or the polar opposite and you sort of get a bit shaken up.
Well, that's why I'm such a big advocate for like coaches, right? And I'm not fucking plugging me. Go to any coach for, whatever. I don't care if you work with me or someone else. I really don't care. But the thing is, like, if you go to a coach, firstly, you know they're not going to fucking judge you.
Yeah.
Unless you're an absolute shit kind of a coach. In that case, they should be fucking thrown out of the industry. But for the most part, a coach isn't going to judge you, especially a coach who works on the things that you're going through.
Yeah, 100%.
And secondly, they're going to have the tools, resources, and experience to be able to actually help you. As you mentioned before, someone can come to you and you say, oh, bro, I'm here for you. But what happens after that? I'm here for you. It's not just like, oh, we can keep talking about it, because that's just going to, it almost sometimes creates like a detrimental effect. Continuously talking about something and doing nothing about it.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, and that's the, I guess.
You almost need someone that maybe has gone through the same thing and got through it.
Experience, yeah.
Hey man, how did you approach
practical knowledge,
this problem?
100%.
Like, what did you do? Tell me, help.
And that's why, like, I'm all for talking. I love communication, whatever, and like talk therapy in a sense. But I think this is what I say to my clients. I say, we can talk about it, but after we understand the initial problem, talking time's over. Let's start taking action.
Yeah.
You know, you are actually a good example of this. I'll share this story, and I'm sure you'll be okay with me sharing, because I've shared it before.
Yeah, go for it.
But when you joined the Self-Mastery Society initially, right? There was a lot of fear and shit around joining the gym, right? Now, we could have talked about that. We could have talked about it for fucking 5 hours, you know?
Yeah.
What is there of this, blah, blah, blah. And we talked about it for a little bit, but as soon as, probably spent like 20 minutes talking about it, if that.
It wasn't long.
Not even 20 minutes. No, it was probably, what was it? Probably 5 minutes.
Yeah, it wasn't
There was
long.
like 3 messages.
Yeah.
And like, the first thing I said was, bro, I'm like, sign up to the gym on Monday. And we got one of the other lads, I said, like, jump in with him. I don't even know if he went with you, but anyway.
I met up with someone. Yes.
Yeah. So we said, you're signing up to the gym Monday, and you know you're gonna face this shit. And like, you were still resistant. You were like, oh,
I
bro,
can't,
but,
I feel sick.
yeah, blah blah blah. I said, no, bro, we're holding you accountable. You're fucking doing that. And after your first session, you were literally like, this is like
all the lads in the group. I think there was maybe 10 of us at
the time. Yeah.
You forced me to send a photo when I was standing in the gym.
Yeah.
So I couldn't get out of it.
That's right.
I couldn't just say that I'd done it.
And that's what I mean.
had to
Like,
prove it.
we could talk about it all day, and we could talk about strategies to overcome fear and how to build social confidence. But it's like, just fucking do it. Yeah. Get the fuck in the arena. I actually said that to you, those exact words. I said, get the fuck in the arena.
Bro.
That's right. And like, you know, not all problems can be solved like that, obviously. But a lot can, like, just
100%.
do the thing.
Literally do the thing. Yeah. That was funny. I remember that. You guys were hyping it up so much.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck, like, really? Am I going to go do this? And I picked up a mate, funny enough, to go to the pub that day. Because I was still sort of in that early stages of fixing that. And picked him up, and I'm like, man, I'm going to the gym first. I'm signing up.
Yeah.
And he's like, whatever, all good.
Yeah.
I got to the gym, I walked in, I'm like, fuck, I don't want to do this. I did not want to fucking do that. And at that moment, I signed up. He did as well.
Oh, really?
So
cool.
we've been training together now for almost 12 months.
Yeah, really?
12 months, like
That's awesome.
almost on the week.
Yeah.
And he's missed 2 or 3 sessions.
Yeah, that's sick. Yeah. I think, and that's one of the really good things about embodying higher standards in yourself is you influence and affect others.
Yeah, 100%.
A lot of people think, oh, you know, I'm not, I don't know. Some people have this mentality of like, I need to have fucking 50,000 followers to influence people. No, you don't. You embody certain standards within yourself. Everyone around you looks at that. And it almost acts as a mirror. Like, it'll either firstly piss them off or evoke action. Yeah. One usually comes before the other. Usually someone gets pissed off. Like, I've had people say shit to me like, oh, you know, why don't you just eat some fucking pizza? Just eat the fucking pizza. I'm like, I don't want the pizza. I said, you can eat the pizza. Yeah. I don't care what you do, but I just don't want to eat the pizza.
I'm not interested.
Yeah, and then after this big fucking rant about me, trying to get me to conform to eating the pizza, then they say, oh man, do you reckon like you could help me with my diet? I'm just like, I can, but like, stop shaming me, you fuckwit, because you know.
Let me do my thing.
Yeah, because like we act as mirrors to each other. For example, if I'm hanging around a guy who's like fucking smashing out like $50,000 months, right? Which I have some really good friends in some really good places, and I'm around these guys, 50k months, smashing it. So to me, that's normal. That's the normal thing, you know. 50k months must be what people do, right? Yeah. But if I'm hanging around guys who are, you know, like just fucking unemployed, doing
I got
fuck
$10
all.
Left in my
That's
account,
right. Then that's normal, and I think that's important too. Like, not only can we influence, but we are influenced, and we're a lot more influenceable than we like to believe. A lot of guys have this thing of like, I am uninfluenced. It's like, come on, bro.
Just another bloke.
Why are you wearing that Nike shirt? You got influenced by the ad. Why are you at this gym? You saw the, like, you know, everything's an influence. This book, I saw that book somewhere, that salt lamp I bought, you know, that cabinet I bought from somewhere. It's just like, we're always being influenced.
What life's about. Yeah.
That's right. But coming back to your personal journey, you know, obviously started with the whole porn thing, done a program with me. You really made massive leaps in like your development. One of the biggest things I saw with your development was like, just and correct me if I'm wrong, or you know, if this is a wrong assumption, but I felt like more of who you already were was unlocked. I felt like, you know, you had all this dormant potential, and I could see it within you from the very first day we connected. And you done the work, and you just started to show up more and more of who you already were. Like every session, I was like, whoa! I was like, fuck, he's confident now. Even your words, like I'm a very observant person, and your words were like, the way you were talking about yourself was so different. Like you were saying, like, oh yeah, man, like, you know, I cut this chick off, or I cut this guy off, whatever it was. You know, it was like how long ago? It was ages ago now, but I cut this person off because they were disrespecting me, and I'm like, that's cool. Yeah. Old Jai wouldn't have done that, right? And you notice these little changes. But yeah, to go on what I was saying, the porn was the initial thing. You done the work. You really leveled up in multidimensionally within yourself.
Definitely.
What was the next step after that, and how have you continuously been like? You know, what have you been working on? What's your focus been?
The next step directly after that was drinking. I wanted just to get rid of that.
Yeah.
I knew that it was not doing anything good for me.
Yeah.
And I didn't like it anymore. I was over it.
Yeah.
There was a point where I was almost proud of how much that I drank, or how much I could drink.
That's common, eh?
100%.
Yeah.
That was sort of like an in-joke with all the people that I used to drink with. Like, I was good at it. One of the best in the country.
Yeah.
Well, which, whatever, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But once that was done, I'd put on a whole bunch of weight by that point. I was fucking unhealthy, struggling, everything, health-wise I was fucked.
Yeah.
So that was next on the list. So joined the gym, which you forced me to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, since that, obviously there was a lot of mental sort of background work at that same time.
Yeah.
Self-love, self-respect.
Massive.
Still two massive things.
Yeah.
A lot better than I was, still not there.
Yeah.
Constant work in progress, but
yeah, of course. Like
heaps better than it was.
Yeah.
Those still are two probably that I still need to work on.
Yeah.
Physically, no issues at all. I'm at the gym 5 days a week. I eat ridiculously well.
Yeah,
I don't cheat on meals at all.
Yeah.
I won't drink something if it's got calories in it. So it's everything's sugar-free or water or black coffee. That's it.
Yeah.
I'm not out there drinking full sugar Coke or anything, because why fucking bother?
Yeah.
Puts me at fucking risk.
Yeah.
I have physical goals, but they're not number based really. Like,
it's like identity more so.
Yeah. The ego behind it sounds funny but the main goal with my physical transformation is I want to look good on the beach by December.
Yeah, fuck yeah. That's a great goal.
That's it.
Yeah. And I think too, like, linking it to the whole identity thing, it's like, you know, it's not even like, okay, yeah, we have our goals, whatever, but the core of it is like, it's an identity shift. Eat this pizza, drink this, do this. Nah, I'm all good. Why not? I just don't do that. That's it. There doesn't have to be a justification, or even the whole thing of like dieting, like the culture of like, are you on a diet, Ricky? And I say, no, I'm not.
I just eat well.
Yeah, I actually say I can eat as much as I want of what I want, but what I want to eat is actually steak, chicken, sweet potato, eggs, like sea moss, shilajit. Like, I want these really high quality, real whole foods.
The better you eat, the better you feel.
That's right. It's not like I'm like, oh no, you can't have KFC. Bro, I don't want any of that bullshit. I actually get away from
it makes me feel sick thinking about it. And yeah, don't get me wrong, I used to love that shit. You eat it and you feel good at the time, and then 5 minutes later you're like, why the fuck did I do that?
But you
feel sick.
It's
your
interesting.
Hands are fucking greasy. Like, you feel
Oh, bro, KFC probably has the biggest like desire to regret ratio on earth. What's good? It's interesting how the taste buds adapt.
Yeah.
Something I've thought about recently. Like, I was having a meal with a lady the other night, and I was eating this meal, and I was like, wow. I was like, this is so nice. And she's like, it's just steak and capsicum. I was like, it's so nice. And she's like, it's not that nice. I was like, it is. She's like, why is it so nice to you? I said, I don't know. I said, the capsicum literally tastes like lollies. And she's like, no, it doesn't taste. She's like, it's not sweet. And then I was thinking, I was like, why does she not think it's sweet? And then I do. I was like, I don't have lollies. So in my I don't know what you want to call it, a baseline of taste, you know, it's a lot lower. So it's like a sweet capsicum.
That's as sweet as it gets.
But I'm like, ooh, damn, what is in this?
It's wild.
And that's another thing with the whole like living a healthy lifestyle. It's not hard. A lot of people think it's discipline and grit and willpower. I don't have to force myself to go to the gym or eat clean or stay away from this shit. It's like, it's the normal thing for me to do.
Yeah, which don't get me wrong, like sometimes I don't feel like going to the gym.
Yeah.
I go at night time, right? Because I don't like waking up early.
Yeah.
I'm already busy as it is. So I get home from work, I eat, I go to the gym.
Yeah.
That's just how my program is.
Yeah.
But there is nights where I get home and I'm like, man, I couldn't be fucked. But those are the nights that you go and usually you have the best session.
And that's when it matters the most.
Incredible, yeah.
Because realistically, like the gym isn't about the physical transformation.
Yeah.
I say that as a natural byproduct. It's more of who you have to become to attain that.
Sure.
That's why a good, solid physique is a status symbol.
Yeah.
One of the biggest status symbols in society, I believe. Like,
100%.
you know, anyone can buy a fucking fancy watch. Anyone can buy a fancy car. You know, and realistically, a lot of these people with like the super high end, it's all rented, it's all facades.
Yeah.
You cannot fake a fucking body, right? And people might say, "Oh, steroids." Yeah, you know what? Like I'm not on that, and I'm not for that. You still have to work relentlessly hard, and your diet has to be zoned in.
Yeah.
I know. I'm not going to call anyone out here, but I know a lot of guys on steroids who their lifestyle's still fucked. They eat like shit and they look like shit.
Yeah.
I look better than them and they're pumping heavy gear. And I'm just like, bro, like if you just cleaned up your diet, I think I've always said, like since pretty young, I think people underestimate the level of physique you can build naturally and overestimate what you can build on gear. Yeah, right? Like, don't get me wrong, gear, steroids, gonna take it to the fucking next level, of course. But I think you should already have, like, in my mind, firstly, like, I'd never take gear or steroids, not aligned with me. But if someone's competing in a federation where other people are taking it and it's their sports, maybe their livelihood, I understand it.
Yeah.
Right? But my thing is, like, before you even consider gear, before you even consider entering the unnatural competitions, bro, your fucking training better be locked in, your nutrition, your sleep, everything better be locked in 100% before you even consider going to that next level, because you don't even know what your natural potential is.
Yeah, I'm obsessed with the idea of reaching the natty peak. I guess. Like, how many years? I'm going to be 10 years into this.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what I'm going to look like in 10 years. How far can I push this?
100%.
How big can I be? How strong can I be?
Yeah.
But there's no cheat code for that.
No.
You can't cheat eating clean and discipline and work.
Oh, man. And, like,
It doesn't happen.
A strong, good physique, it's not only as a status symbol, it helps you in so many areas of life, business specifically. You get to, like, business is war, realistically. Any business I know is like that. It is war. You are, it's like find your niche, and you don't find your blue ocean. You won't have any competitors. Yeah, bro, blue ocean. There's still sharks in there. It's bloody, right?
You're right though. Like physique, you have two tradies show up to your place to quote whatever it is that you're getting done.
Yeah.
One is a fat slob, for lack of better words, and one is fit, young, clean,
fit guy.
dresses
He's
well,
getting the job.
Like, done. That's him.
That's right.
100%.
He's
going to do the better job.
Yeah, it's a reflection of your self-respect and standards.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, the younger, fitter, healthier, cleaner looking guy shows up and he's more confident, nicer to people. Like, he just has that energy. It's completely different. And you're right, like, you can work hard in the gym, but the mental benefits almost outweigh the physical, for sure. The increasing confidence across the board in like every area of my life.
Like Kanye level type shit.
Yeah, nuts. But I can talk to people. Yeah. Anyone doesn't, like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Just it's a completely different
100%
identity, really. So the physical stuff's great. I look better than I did. I still don't think I look good, but mentally, like miles above where I was 12 months ago.
And I think too, like with we touched before on like self-love, and I feel like that's a topic where a lot of men almost cringe at it. They almost like, oh, that feels, gay, whatever. Like, there's resistance there for sure, because it feels like, I guess to some men, it feels like unmasculine or soft, whatever the fuck they want to call it.
Yeah.
Realistically, this is how I say it. Everything sort of operates on a spectrum, right? There's self-love and there's self-hate. So I've absolutely operated from the self-hate side of things in the past, but I sort of had a realization one day. Like I was going to the gym and then I was in the gym and I was training and I was like, my language inside my head was like, lift it, you little fucking bitch, or fucking, don't be a pussy. And then I was like, hold the fuck up. I said, why am I such a cunt to myself?
Yeah.
I was like, why do I need to tear myself down like this? This is like, there's no need for that, right?
Literally.
And if you go deeper into it, like, you know, you have parts within you and an inner child, and do you think that kid, that, let's say, a 6-year-old version of yourself, do you think he enjoys and it makes him feel loved to say, you fucking bitch? You know, so my whole philosophy is operating from a place of self-love. Yes, I train fucking every day, eat clean, do all this stuff, but it's not because I hate myself or think I'm not enough as is.
Yeah.
I fucking love myself and I think I'm more than enough as is. And because I think these things, I believe I deserve to do the things that are going to enhance and make me.
Yeah, because you do love yourself and respect yourself, you treat yourself well by eating well.
That's right.
Drinking clean.
Exactly right.
Doing all this shit, getting sunlight.
Yeah.
Look after yourself.
And that's what, like, a lot of, this dives into like an even deeper level, but self-worth with men, holy fuck, I could write a book on this shit.
Yeah.
Self-worth, if a man has low self-worth, let's say, for example's sake, a man has self-worth at level 50, right? He can achieve, and this goes through all realms of life, he can achieve success up to the level of 50, but once his success starts to exceed his self-worth levels, he starts to get uncomfortable. This is more than I deserve. That's the narrative, right? More than I deserve. I'm gonna fuck this up. I'm gonna fuck this up. Like literally self-sabotage. Yeah. Whether it's a girl that he fucking intentionally unconsciously goes and fucking cheats on or does something to fuck up the relo, or a business where he, you know.
Because he feels like he has to get back down to that back where he belongs.
It's not comfortable, right? Yeah. That's why I say to guys, like, fuck all this self-hatred shit. You're just capping yourself. Yeah. You think you're a piece of shit? Cool. You know, that's what you'll achieve. That's the level. But you think you are worthy, you are abundant, you are beautiful, you're worthy of all these amazing things in life. Yeah. Bro, your success is limitless. I really believe that.
And that changes your day. You walk outside and you're like, fuck man, the sun's out, I'm feeling good, I'm looking good, you're so happy. Yeah. So happy. But you get out there with self-hatred and everything's dark and gloomy and shit. Yeah. You feel like shit.
And like, I think too, everything is, like, you know my views on energy and stuff, but I think everything is energy. 100%. Very much so. Like, you go into the whole law of attraction thing, everything resonates and like vibrates on a specific frequency, right? So if you think about like, let's use this example. Let's say a guy finds a woman extremely attractive and he's like, oh, I really want to get with this lady and XYZ. Now this lady's rooted in self-love. She's a beautiful girl. Like, this is just an example. She's a beautiful girl and I'm getting into it, bro. I'm visualizing. Yeah, she's a beautiful girl and she's so like, she knows what she's worth and all this beautiful stuff. And this guy is like this, I'm a piece of fucking shit. I hate myself. Well, do you think, like, firstly, you're not even going to be able to talk to her because you're going to sabotage her before you even fucking talk. But if you talk, do you think once she fucking picks up on your energy, because it's like, you know, people can pick up on energy. Once she picks up on that, do you think she's going to feel aligned with you energetically? No, she might be attracted to you physically. She might, you know, whatever, all the other precursors to female to male attraction, all those might line up. But once she starts to realize, hey, this guy is a fucking toxic, like, dark, sad motherfucker.
This guy hates himself.
Yeah, she's not going to want to be around you. No. And the same for, like, bro, business. When it comes to business, I am so spiritual. I believe, like, deeply within me. Like, I've got, you know, 2 main businesses, obviously the coaching business and I've got a media business, which I've had for like 10 years. With both these services, I wholeheartedly believe they are amazing services, amazing things that I provide to society. I see it as like a gift to society, right? And I'm like, you know what? I have this awesome thing. I'm going to embody it. I'm going to literally share it with so much confidence, so much passion. And you can do that when it's a good service, right? But if it's not, people pick up on it, right? You'll see like entry-level businessmen with a product that they don't really believe in. Like, let's say a guy's selling solar panels or some shit. Comes to your door. Hi, do you want to buy a solar panel? It's like, not off you, bro. What the fuck?
The fuck out
you don't even like solar panels. But if I'm talking to someone and, you know, I'm talking about my services, bro, like, I can help you absolutely become the best version of yourself, break the self-sabotage. It's like, it's intoxicating.
I'm in, bro.
Yeah, like, you can't fake passion is what I'm trying to get at.
100%.
And it's energy. Like, everything, it's magnetic.
Yeah, and it crosses over in every aspect of your life.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, so keeping on the sort of timeline, you've been focusing on what you said you've been focusing on, right? And you've been very much so going on the sort of like physical development side. Yeah. What is your plans moving forward, future-wise, like for your self-development?
Good question. I think recently, self-love, self-worth.
Yep.
even though we just sort of touched on that. They're the next two big things for me.
Cool.
I think that my self-worth a lot of the time is performance-based.
Yeah.
Whether that be at work or in the gym or whatever.
Massive,
If I don't feel like I'm working that well, I feel like shit. If I didn't train well, I feel like shit. So I need to work on that.
Yeah.
It's just how it is. I think just from a young age, I was in sports. So I think I've always just been performance-based, which is obviously good to a point.
Has its pros and cons, but eventually gets detrimental.
Yeah, 100%. And the same thing, like I have high standards for myself. So I do let that sort of shit, like I don't train well and I'm pissed off. So I'm like, why am I here? Like, what am I doing? So I got areas to work on, as everyone else does.
Of course, They're
the next two big things though, really.
Yeah. No, I love that, man. And if you could, from the journey you've gone through and everything you've experienced, I guess we'll do a few questions. But if you could give like a younger guy, sort of like, let's say 16 years old, if you could talk to like a 16-year-old guy watching this right now, because it's going to be on Spotify, YouTube, all over the place. If you could talk to that specific guy, what would you say to them? Yeah,
that's a hard one without knowing a specific individual.
Yeah.
But
like
I think
general,
especially at that age, you already know what you're interested in. Stay there. If you don't feel like something's right, don't fucking do it.
Yeah.
Because every young kid, you go to watch porn for the first time, as we touched on, you know that it's not right.
Yeah, you have that sort of like intuitive. Yeah.
You're like, I shouldn't be doing this.
Yeah.
Don't fucking do it, man.
Yeah.
Just look after yourself.
100%.
Just enjoy the small things.
Yeah.
Like walk outside, touch grass, get sunlight, that sort of shit.
Yeah.
That's really where a lot of my happiness comes from now, which is insane. Like just little things.
Yeah, 100%.
Enjoying my time.
Yeah, I love that. I think too, like if I was to sort of do the same thing, give one, and obviously it has to be broad because you don't know the specifics, but one piece of advice to like a young man listening to this, or even a young woman, it's pretty unisex advice, but don't feel the need to conform to what everyone else is doing around you if you know it's wrong.
100%.
Right, like if you want to start, I started training at fucking 16, and when I first started training, people were saying, "What the fuck's gay? What are you trying to?
What are you doing?"
Yeah, like do what you know is right.
Yeah.
Follow the good path, right? Like it pays off big time, and you'll see later down the track.
Definitely.
Everyone sort of starts at the same sort of thing, but you see as people get older and as their habits determine more and more their trajectory, it's literally like you split apart.
Yeah.
And it's like, then they're 14 kilometers this way and they say, well, how did you get like that? Why do you look like that? Why do you, have these businesses? Why do you blah, 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 blah?
Yeah.
It's like, what's probably the things that we've been doing for the past 10 years, that you every afternoon go to the pub and drink, and I choose to do this. So like if I was speaking to a young kid, it would be choose the right path, choose delayed gratification, stay away from anything that is fucking like giving you insanely high hits of dopamine, cheap dopamine, like shit you don't have to work for.
Yeah.
And just like stay on the right path, because it's not cool to be a fucking degenerate. Like maybe your mates might be telling you it is.
You might think it is at the time, but it never is.
But like long term, the cool thing is health, business, being an individual who's mastered themselves. And most men and women too don't really crack onto this stuff until later when they're like 25 and they're like, oh shit, I'm still that person who's doing this and I'm sort of a loser. You know?
16's probably a bit young for it, but also just work out your core values. What you actually believe in
100%.
And follow that, because that will never leave you astray ever. So definitely follow that.
I think too, like on the topic of careers, I think we all have an internal intuitive voice, and it guides us in a sense, right? Like, as you know, I did a whole ass carpentry apprenticeship.
Yeah.
Became a carpenter, but I'm not going to say it was like, I don't regret it at all. Like it taught me so much character and stuff when I was young, and developed some lifelong skills. And every now and then I'll fucking even help out my mate for a day if he needs it, right? If I'm not busy with stuff. But from super young, there was an intuitive voice in me of like, bro, you're not meant to be a carpenter. Like, don't be a fucking carpenter, And I was just like, oh, this person wants me to do it, this person. And I would ignore that voice. And I ignored it for years, literally until I was like 19 years old. So I cracked onto it pretty early, which is good. And then I was like, I kept having this voice in me like, you got do coaching, do media, do these other things. Yeah. And I just think if you have that voice in you, just follow it. Yeah. There's nothing bad that can come from it. Worst case, you're going to gain a bit of experience. But best case, you're going to build a life that you fucking love. Yeah. Like, I just think so many people settle for mediocre lives they fucking hate, and they live for the weekend, and they wonder why they need all this shit to escape their fucking trash reality.
Boring job that they
Yeah, it's
hate
like
doing.
you are living your own hell. Of course you want to escape.
Yeah. It's not all about money either.
No, fuck no.
Especially with work. It
No.
really isn't about money.
Yeah.
If you go there 5 days a week, you make 200 grand a year, but you're miserable.
Yeah.
Who cares?
100%. And you know what too, like even on that, like I remember I actually got this from Gary Vee used to say it. He used to say like, you know, we need to redefine what success is. Success is waking up and being happy with your life.
100%.
I used to define success as money wholeheartedly. And then there was a period where like, bro, I borderline turned into a fucking monk, honestly. Like between the ages of like, how old was I? Not like 19 to 21, I was like I was literally on monk mode. I honestly didn't care about money at all. I I stopped working carpentry. I had a media business, so I was making money, but I didn't care. I wasn't promoting much. I'm just, you know, I'm blessed enough to say that it sort of took care of itself. But yeah, I didn't care about money for fucking 2 years, and I was like, you know, just doing what I found passion from, and this and this and this.
Yeah.
But then what I realized was it was like an intersection point. It was like I went from being extremely money focused, and that's all I cared about, to not caring about money whatsoever, to now the point where I'm at now, which is like integration. Now I care about money. I love I love money, and I don't feel ashamed to say that anymore.
Yeah.
I used to, when I was in my spiritual fucking monk phase, I used to think like, oh, you know,
I'm above money.
yeah, and
it matters.
I used to think like, oh, money's bad, whatever. I had these beliefs, but now I think like, no, the more money I make, the more I can impact society. That's it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I'm at a place now integrated where I feel like I do what I fucking love every single day, genuinely, the coaching and, you know, all the sort of work I do there. And I think money follows passion. I do believe that. As I said, business is energy. It's like it's war. It's a competitive field, but it's energy.
Yeah.
If you put me up against someone who is just doing coaching for money, I will eat him alive. Yeah. He will never be able to deliver the service I deliver. He will never be able to fucking talk with the expertise I talk with. He will not even be in the same fucking bracket as me.
Yeah.
But you put me against someone who's also got the same passion as me, now it's even playing fields.
Yeah, 100%.
Right. But in terms of like, you know, clients and business and marketing and XYZ, people want to work with people who care about what they do.
Yeah.
If I'm hiring someone, even if it's a super simple service like cleaning up my gutters, right?
Yeah.
I'm not going to hire the guy who's like, oh yeah, I can clean your gutters. I'm just like, you hate this shit. You're going to fuck up my gutters. You don't care. I'm going to hire the guy that's like, mate, I can clean your gutters.
Absolutely.
Loves gutters. He's a gutter man, right?
All over it, yeah.
I'm like, bro, get up there. Like, I want to get up there with you. You're inspiring me.
I actually experienced something similar recently with car detailers. I was talking to one guy. I'm like, hey man, I just need it cleaned. The interior was fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
I was like, how much? And he's like, oh man, I don't know, like $150. You know? Yeah, fair enough. And I spoke to another guy, slightly more expensive, but I'm like, yeah man, fuck, I can go over it with like, I got all these brushes, I can get in all these crevices, I'll do this, I'll put a screen protector on the fucking touch screen, like, and I'm like, yeah, 100%. I want this guy.
Because he cares.
Yeah, loves the fucking job. And I got my car back, and no word of a lie, it was cleaner than the day I picked it up.
Because he actually cared, yeah.
Insane.
And I think too, like, a lot of business people, businessmen, businesswomen, whatever, they have like this, they lack the care factor, right? I've always ran businesses from a point of like, you hire me in whatever it is, you are getting the best person for the job. I care more about this than you do.
Yeah.
Honestly, like you've worked with me, you know my element of like, I'm reaching out like, bro, what are you doing? Let's do this. Bah, bah, bah. You know, I'm very much so like, not aggressive, but I'm like, I'm adamant. I want to see this.
What's the word I'm looking for? You keep us accountable.
Yeah.
In everything you do. But you work one-on-one with me, for example, and you message me before I even wake up in the morning. Hey bro, happy Monday. Here's what we're doing today. How you feeling? Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And constantly. But that accountability that you keep.
And you can't
insane.
You can't fake
energy.
that. Yeah, exactly right. Like that's what I'm saying. Like in the competitive field of business, the person who cares the most wins. Yeah, they really do.
Well, you wouldn't do that sort of thing if you didn't care, right?
That's right. Yeah,
because you'd be like, whatever. He's paid me my money, and he can fucking work it out for himself.
You'd think so, but there are not to badmouth anyone, but there are coaches who just actually don't give a fuck. And I'm just like, bro, go pick mushrooms or something. Like,
which is wild. Like as I said before, the effort you put in is
what you get out.
Yeah, 100%. Like you put in the fucking big hours, big energy with every client, and you get the results from it, and that springs more business. Because I talk to my mates and they're like, "Oh, who'd you work with for this?" And I'm like, go see fucking Ricky, bro.
Yeah,
He'll
yeah.
sort you out 100%.
100%.
And then you interview that person or talk to that person and they're like, bro, his energy is wild.
Yeah.
You've locked him in. Done.
Yeah.
Like, easy. But
It's-
yeah, the energy that you put in is what you get out.
Yeah.
You have to.
I think it's just, it really does, like, it boils down to care.
Yeah.
Who cares the most? You know,
100%.
I'm a big believer you have to care more about, especially in coaching. When I get on a call with someone, it's an initial call, and they're giving me excuses and shit, I'm just like, nah, not letting you, like, this, oh, I can't do this. I'm just like, in my mind, I'm like, because I'm hard on people, but it's not from a place of, I'm not a fucking arsehole sergeant.
Yeah.
I'm like, I actually, like, even though I might have just met this person, I have so much care for them. I'd almost go to say I love them. Like, I have this worldview of, union, divine union. We are all one.
Yeah.
So when I see someone and they're giving me excuses, oh no, I probably can't do that, man. I'm just like, yes, you fucking can. Like, bro, you don't know what's on the other side of this shit.
Yeah.
Like,
I believe in you, bro. You can do it.
that's bro.
100%.
And they're like, what? Like, you're not just taking my thing and just saying, oh, it's okay. You don't want it. That's fine. I'm like, no, because I know this. I've always but can't speak English. I've taken like courses and worked with people on sales and all this stuff because you need to for business. But my sales process has evolved so much. Now my whole thing is literally just like, just care. That's all it is. Just care, and everything will naturally stem from that.
Yeah.
They say this, you know they're limiting themselves. The way I see it as a coach, particularly, but any business owner, it's your job to help them get out of their own way, but only if you've actually got a valuable product. Like the programs I have, my community, all this stuff, it's super valuable. So when someone's like saying like, oh, I don't know if I could do it, man. I don't know if, it would work on me. It's my job to get them out of their own way to receive the gold. That's how I see it.
100%. Yeah.
But if you have a shit product, then good luck cultivating any form of passion or care.
Oh, because you won't. Yeah.
Yeah.
You just see the paycheck.
I've tried to, bro. People have like tried to hire me before for roles and shit to like, help them sell their shit. And I was like, not really interested. I said, but tell me what it is anyway. And they're like, oh, it's a, I'm not going to shit on the fucking specific name, but let's just say it's a pyramid MLM type thing. Yeah. Oh, you just have to sell people this water thing. And I'm just like, no, you can't. I'm not doing that. And they're just like, why? I'm like, because I don't care and I don't believe in your product. And they're like, oh, but you just have to make them believe. I said, I'm not going to, that's ingenuous of me. That's a lack of integrity.
It goes against your values.
Yeah, I'm not going to sit there and lie to someone and say, you need that. No, you don't need this. Sorry, bro. I'd be the worst salesman for your company. I'm going to tell them how it is.
Yeah. You don't need this, bro. Don't buy it.
Yeah, literally. All right, one last question I have for you. Yeah. Unless there's any, I'll ask this question, and then if you want to ask me any questions and dive into anything, you can do that as well. But if you were to speak to 6-year-old you, all right? So I want you to visualize a 6-year-old you, walking up and speaking to you. What would you tell him based off your experiences?
Just to believe in himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Solid.
Plain and simple. That's all it was.
Just self-belief.
100%.
Yeah.
Because I remember back then I was in athletics. I was competitive for many, many years.
Yeah.
Trained incredibly well, performed incredibly well.
Yep.
And as soon as I got to competition, I just fucking failed.
Because of the belief element?
In my own head.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Wasn't as good as these guys, so I can't do it. On paper, I was better than all of those guys. I could have won every fucking thing that I did. So,
massive belief.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely just believe in myself in everything that I was doing.
Massive. I love that. Yeah. I think, bro, people underestimate self-belief. I think it is like, how much we covered it in the program. Like there was so many sessions or whatever on it, but self-belief is paramount. I think I've been starting lately. I started playing chess, right? Yeah. Love chess. And I was talking to my friend, and they're like, oh, do you ever? Because I've got a pretty good win streak going right now, right? I'm not going to jinx it. Touch wood, it keeps going. But she said like, oh, do you ever think you're going to lose? I said, no. What the fuck's the point in that? She's like, but what if someone has a higher ELO rating than you? I was like, I don't care. Everyone, everyone's equal on the field of the chessboard type thing.
100%.
And it's also like, it's just the whole thing of like, we're all human. We all bleed. That's how I see it. When I'm in a competitive game, whatever it is, fucking chess, martial art, whatever, I don't care. I see it like, you're human, I'm human.
Yeah.
I see it as a game of who believes in themselves more.
Yeah.
Skills play a part, yeah, of course. But as you said, you can have the advantage on skills, but if your self-belief's lower than theirs, you also lose.
Yeah, 100%.
I always say like, Kanye level belief. It's not just enough to say like, yeah, you know, I think I could probably do it. It's like, no, I'm going to fucking do it.
100%
Yeah,
do it.
exactly. I'm going to excel. I'm going to smash. I'm going to dominate. Like, you got to think like that.
Yeah, you know that you will. And you will. Every fucking time.
100%.
But yeah, go into it telling yourself you're going to lose and you will.
Exactly right. Do you have any questions for me or any avenues you want to dive down into with me?
I think we're done.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
cool,
it.
bro. It's good to have you on the podcast.
Thank you for having me, sir.
Thank you.
That's good.